Tēnā koe, Mr. Hanare.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. I just want to read, first of all, the Waitangi Tribunal and its Te Raupatu o Tauranga Moana report on the Tauranga confiscation claims 2004. And after considering the manner in which the Crown grant for land, including Otamataha, was awarded to the Church Mission Society in 1852, and it concluded at page 218. And I quote, "We find that Godfrey failed to ascertain and acknowledge the conditional nature of the transactions under customary law, and that he wrongly concluded that the Church Mission Society had fully and fairly purchased the whole of the area. The Crown, in accepting Godfrey's recommendation and finally awarding the Church Mission Society a Crown grant for the whole area, was therefore in breach of the treaty principle of active protection." See, Mr. Speaker, I suppose a little-known fact is that the treaty was there to protect, and this didn't do it. And so what you see in this bill, what you see in a whole raft of treaty settlement bills, stems from the lack of protection that came out of the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi in 1846. I know that there will be people in our country that say, well, you were conquered, you should sort of, just move on. Very difficult to use that principle when we are a law-abiding country and as we move together down the path of nationhood. Mr. Speaker, the bill transfers land in Tauranga and other property from the New Zealand Mission Trust to the Otamataha Trust, so that it can be used for the beneficiaries of the Otamataha Trust, the hapu of Ngāti Tapu, Ngai Tamarawaho, and Ngai Tūkairangi. Sir, the return of the land is highly significant to the hapu. Sir, it re-establishes their connection to the water. It provides income to the hapu to finance other activities, including allow hapu participate in the downtown economy of Tauranga. So it comes with the 150th anniversary of Gate Pa, which was only last week, a couple of weeks ago, or last week. The Otamataha Trust has been established by the hapu of Ngāti Tapu and Ngai Tamarawaho to own and manage land and other property acquired through the historical common interests of those hapu in Tauranga. Sir, it is not a charitable trust. The Church Missionary Society was established in Tauranga in 1835, sir. In 1838, the CMS brought 2 blocks from tangata whenua, and when I say bought, I mean brought in their view. They purchased it on the site which is where the city of Tauranga is today. The transaction has never been accepted by tangata whenua as a sale of the land to the Church Mission Society. So you can now understand that since 1838 there has been some issue, there has been some raru, there has been some significant hard feeling by the aforementioned iwi and hapu. In 1867, the Crown, again inverted commas, acquired by the gift of the CMS 4/5 of the land which had been vested in the CMS by Crown grant in 1852, and military settlers were settled on it. This land was surrounded by confiscated Māori land on which was also settled. Sir, I want to just deviate for a minute, sir, and talk about back in the day when soldiers were asked to come from England, Ireland, New South Wales, wherever. One of my ancestors on my full-blooded Pākehā side was a guy called Andrew McMahon, and he came out, and the price of his coming out, I wouldn't call him a mercenary. I would say he was just looking for a job, like most of us will be after the 20th. Some of us will be after the 20th of September. They called him offensible, and he had a little plot. And if anybody knows the Onehunga, where the Onehunga fire station is, just right there is where Andrew McMahon was given a piece of land to come and secure Auckland against those rebels from my other half of my ancestry, sir. So basically that's what we are talking about here, which happened in Tauranga, similar to what happened to one of my ancestors. In 1896, the remaining land, including Otamataha, was transferred from the Church Mission Society to the New Zealand Mission Trust Board, which held the assets of the board on trust for the spiritual benefit and spiritual instruction of Māori people in the North Island of New Zealand, or even failing that, the evangelisation of the heathen races in any part of the world. Sir, those are not my words. Those are the words that were used back in the day, Mr. Speaker, and I don't think that local Māori needed any schooling in spiritual instruction or even in the evangelisation. Mr. Speaker, sir, moving forward, in 1996, the New Zealand Mission Trust Board handed back control of the land to the new trustees appointed by Ngāti Tapu and Ngai Tamarawaho. This was done in recognition of the manner and process by which the land was originally acquired from tangata whenua. The land involved in this is the 7,863 square metre waterfront site where the Trinity Wharf Hotel sits. The Trust collects the ground rent from that hotel. Sir, and though the new trustees had control of the land, they were still obliged to use the money and investments derived from the land for the spiritual benefit and spiritual instruction of Māori people in the North Island of New Zealand, or failing that, the evangelisation of heathen races in any part of the world. So, up until 1996, sir, the money was used for the purpose of the spiritual instruction of Māori in the North Island, and if that didn't happen, it was used to evangelise throughout the world. It has some significance, albeit in terms of its financial commitment, most probably very small in the evangelisation of heathen races around the world. It has always been the intention of the two trusts that it be changed so that the two hapu can benefit from it. However, the conditions cannot be changed by any other way than through new legislation, hence our speaking to this bill here today. A similar issue arose in 1986, sir, with money and investments derived from land held by the New Zealand Mission Trust in Port Waikato, which was to be transferred to Ngāti Karewa and Ngāti Tahinga. The result was the New Zealand Mission Trust Board, Port Waikato Maraetai Empowering Act 1986. The Māori Affairs Select Committee, I think, did a wonderful job in listening to the concerns of the folk from Tauranga. And it is with great pleasure that we see another part of New Zealand's unfortunate history. It is history, and it did happen, but we're seeing the righting of those wrongs, righting of those indiscretions for the rest of the nation, and in particular three hapu in the Tauranga region, sir, so that they can move forward, and certainly not at the expense of those people that hold the lease, which is the hotel. Mr. Speaker, I do commend this bill to the House. Caught me on the hop there, brother. I thought you were going to be nasty to me. But why should I think that? Māori Affairs has done a great job, and I commend my colleague from Wairiki to Rua Flavel.
Mr. Speaker.
I call the Honourable Nanaia Mahuta. Tēnā koe,